Assalamu alaikum family, it's Brother Trey. Welcome back to the Wheel Watchers podcast. If you haven't done so, please be sure to like and subscribe. I wanted to come on today because this episode that we are doing today will be clearing the confusion. Wallace Dodd Ford is not Master Fard Muhammad. I'm going to sit there and stare at you like Dora. Can you say confusion? Can you say confusion? Very good. Today's going to be kind of fun and informative. So, without further ado, let's get into it. For decades, mainstream media and government agencies have pushed a story that Master Fard Muhammad, the founder of the Nation of Islam, is not who he said he was. Instead, they tied his name to Wallace Dodd Ford, a petty criminal with a troubled past. But when we look closely at the evidence, especially with the FBI's own files, a very different picture emerges, one that proves Master Fard Muhammad and Wallace Dodd Ford were not the same man. Now, today's sources will be from Student Minister Dr. Wesley Muhammad. Our sources today come from the Book of God, also his book, Master Fard Muhammad, Who Is He? Who is he not? So we're going to take a deep dive and go into our notes. Let's start with the smear campaign. In July of 1963, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner ran a sensational article claiming that Black Muslim founder exposed as white. The writer Ed Montgomery declared that Master Fard Muhammad was really Wallace Dodd Ford, a New Zealander with a criminal record, who had supposedly posed as a prophet among Black people. Montgomery even published a mugshot he claimed was Fard, the savior, and painted a lurid backstory of drugs, prison time, and deception. Now us, and the Nation of Islam led by our eternal leader, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, immediately rejected the story. In fact, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad challenged the newspaper outright, offering to pay $100,000 to bring Wallace Dodd Ford to America to question him to settle the matter. The debate never happened, and they never accepted his offer. Instead, the press doubled down on the claim, and over time it became the official, quote-unquote, story repeated in books, documentaries, and news reports. Oh yeah, by the way, also I just wanted to repeat something from earlier with just a little bit more information. Montgomery declared that Master Fard Muhammad was really born Wallace Dodd Ford, a man in New Zealand in 1891 to a British father and Polynesian mother. He described him as an imposter, masquerading as a Black man in order to mislead followers. To bolster his case, Montgomery displayed mugshots of Ford and recited his rap sheet, convictions for bootlegging, a stint in San Quentin prison for narcotics, and brushes with the law in California. Montgomery even added a personal touch. He reported that Ford had a son with a common law wife in California. My God. When she learned of Ford's activities in Detroit, she supposedly changed the boy's name to sever any public connection. According to the article, Ford eventually left Detroit, drifted to Chicago, and finally sold his car in 1934 to board a ship back to New Zealand, as close to Mecca as he never ever would ever get. This piece was explosive, and it spread quickly to us in the Nation of Islam. As we mentioned previously, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad rejected the article and countered with this offer of a $100,000 check, offering to pay all expenses to fly Wallace Dodd Ford back to America for a face-to-face debate and discussion. If this man truly was Master Fard Muhammad, the messenger said, let him prove it. This never happened, as we mentioned previously. Now let us continue on to the mugshot hoax. One of the most powerful elements of Montgomery's article was the photo. He printed a mugshot and claimed it was from Master Fard Muhammad's 1933 arrest in Detroit. For many, seeing a police photo alongside the story seemed like an undeniable proof. But the truth is far more troubling. That photo was not a Detroit mugshot of Master Fard Muhammad. It was actually a 1926 San Quentin mugshot of Wally D. Ford. Years later, investigators discovered that numbers had been scribbled on the photo to make it appear connected to Detroit's police records. The authentic 1933 Detroit booking photo of Ford existed at one time, but it was later destroyed by the FBI during what they called a destruction project. That left the only Dr. San Quentin photo circulating in the press and books, a convenient piece of manufactured evidence. Now, many people say that this photo is a painting. I've seen absolutely crazy comments saying that. Now, come on now. Come on, man. It is 2025. This is not a painting. This is the one and true legit photo of Master Fard Muhammad that we have and the one that he gave us to study. Now back to what I was mentioning earlier from the California Eagle when the messenger was interviewed. The messenger said, "It is not the picture of Master Fard Muhammad. I know the other person very well, and it is not his age. This is not an Arab. Master Fard Muhammad is an Arab born in Mecca and speaks 16 languages. We have many pictures of him. If they want to prove their story, let them get the real one from Detroit police or from Washington." Now let's go into what the FBI revealed from their own files family. Thanks to the Freedom of Information Act, more than 800 pages of FBI files on Master Fard Muhammad have been made public, and these records tell a very different story than the Montgomery printed one. Number 1. Different physical descriptions. Detroit police records from 1933 describe Master Fard Muhammad as a white-skinned Arab, 5'6", 127 pounds, with maroon-colored eyes. Wallace Dodd Ford, on the other hand, was listed as 5'8", 140 pounds, dark-complected, with curly black hair and the appearance of a very dark-skinned Mexican. Even his common-law wife, Hazel Barton, confirmed that description. The build, the complexion, the features, none of them matched. Number 2, family testimony. In 1962, the FBI went all the way to New Zealand to question Ford's relatives. They showed the family a photo of Master Fard Muhammad. Their response was blunt. The man in the picture was not Wallace Dodd Ford. And number 3, the FBI's own conclusion. After years of searching, the Bureau quietly admitted it had no proof. In 1958, an internal summary stated it was not definitely determined whether the individual referred to as W.D. Fard was identical with Wally Ford. Another memo was even clearer. Subject's true identity unknown. By 1974, the Chicago field office confirmed that their attempts to link Fard with Ford had ended in negative results. These are the FBI's own words acknowledging that the claim couldn't be proven. And by the way, this was the most expensive search for a human being at that time. Now let's continue. It's worth noting just how much energy the government poured into this effort. By the early 1940s, the FBI had already opened a massive investigation into the Nation of Islam, tying it without evidence to Japanese influence during World War II. When Master Fard Muhammad's name surfaced, the Bureau launched. One historian by the name of Carl Evans or Avon said that this was one of the most exhaustive and expensive investigations on a non-criminal matter in FBI history. Look at that, family. Agents raided mosques, confiscated photos and sketches of Master Fard Muhammad, and placed informants inside the movement and searched records across the country and overseas. They even chased leads in Hawaii, Portland, and New Zealand. Yet despite the expense and manpower, the Bureau's final position was simple. They could not prove that Master Fard Muhammad was Wallace Dodd Ford. Now why the smear campaign, you ask? To keep us distracted, because when truth comes, falsehood vanishes, and that's our goal for today. Now the answer lies in COINTELPRO, the FBI's counterintelligence program designed to disrupt and discredit black organizations. Internal memos make it clear. The goal was to make the most honorable Elijah Muhammad appear ridiculous and to curb the Nation of Islam's growing influence. The Herald Examiner article wasn't just sloppy reporting, it was part of a broader campaign. By linking Master Fard Muhammad to a petty criminal, by circulating a false mugshot, the Bureau and its media allies hoped to weaken the Nation of Islam from within. So, the truth remains. When all of the noise is stripped away, here is what we know. The physical descriptions don't match. The family testimony doesn't match. The FBI's own files confess that Master Fard Muhammad's identity remains unsolved. And the infamous mugshot at the heart of the story was a hoax. The claim that Master Fard Muhammad was Wallace Dodd Ford was never proven because it wasn't true. What was, instead, was a carefully engineered piece of disinformation born in the offices of the FBI and amplified by the press, designed to undermine a movement that was reshaping black consciousness in America. Now, before we get out of here, and let me conclude on this, some of the research that I found from Dr. Wesley Muhammad's book, Master Fard Muhammad. Who is he? Who is he not? I would definitely encourage that we all get it because I've mentioned that the original mugshots of the Savior were erased. Now, why is that, you say, and how? Well, let's go into some of the book and some of my notes. Student Minister Dr. Wesley Muhammad in his writings. These are from my notes, by the way. He says, when I requested the WD-40 file from the Detroit Police Department in the summer of 2002, I received the same doctored 1926 Los Angeles mugshot. The answer to this mystery is likely provided in a June 2nd, 1971 memo to the Chicago SAC concerning a destruction project, during which pre-1961 files and photos associated with Wallace Dodd investigation were destroyed. Look at that. The memo notes, in the RE-1A file, only one photo and or negative was retained of photos prior to 1961. Thus, photos from the FAR file were destroyed. According to the indices search slip dated May 5th, 1957, file 65411706 on Wallace D. Ford was destroyed on April 5th, 1957. File 10011506531 on Wallace Ford, Master Fard Muhammad, by the way, was destroyed on the same day. Look at that. So the enemy, man, they did so much. They don't even want a picture of the Savior to be saved. They said destroy it, get rid of it. Man, just to prove their lie and to keep their lie going on and on and on. So in closing, was Master Fard Muhammad really Wallace Dodd Ford? The evidence tells us emphatically no. What we're left with is the reality that the FBI and its media allies pushed a falsehood that became accepted as fact. And we can see today that many unfortunate black folks continue on with the same lie over and over and over again, as if we have a reason to lie. You're not even worthy enough to lie to. The truth alone stands on itself. That's why we urge you to come to us. Talk to us in the Nation of Islam. Don't go to the internet. Go to a mosque, go to a brother or a friend to lead you back to the Nation of Islam. Man, when you look directly at their own records, the story collapses. Master Fard Muhammad was not Wallace Dodd Ford. The claim was and still is a government engineered lie. And that's all we have for today, family. Please continue to support this channel. We definitely appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. And always remember, where there's a will, there's a way. I'm Brother Trey, and once again, this is the Wheel Watchers Podcast, and I'm out. Peace.